Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you're joining right now. We are so blessed and so proud to have you tonight. I know you guys are excited. I know you guys are very much committed, and we want to thank you for that. We want to thank you for this opportunity to be here at this hour, at this time, where we're gonna have the one and only uh, honorable member of parliament, Sherod Duncan. So I want to thank all of you for joining today's program. And my name is Sandy Siran. For those who don't know me, I'm from Haiti, and I'm here in Guyana. And I'm trying to contribute as best as I can in the development of our young people, society, and everything. And I do believe that all of us, we have something to do, all of us, and we all have to put to work and to do whatever that we can, so our society today can be a better place for everyone. um, I do encourage you guys to actually share this live, because that's the most important thing you could do for us. You could share the live, and also you could help us to reach to more people. If you would like I interview more people. Somebody say no sound. I can't believe that. No sound, no sound. All right, all right. Let me see, let me see, let me see what happening. Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me now? What's happening? What's happening? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Is it okay now? You can hear now? Wait. That crazy. That crazy. I can't believe that. No sound. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear now? It's good. All right. Yes, somebody say that's good. We can go up now. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, and we are so blessed. I'm so grateful to have you all. This show is not about me. It's about the guests that we bring in. So yeah, I'm actually happy. I'm very much happy to have him. And thank you so much for those of you joining. I see Randy Cole, I see Lynette Jacobs, I see Kebrong Singh, I see Janet Wilson. Thank you so much for joining. Those I don't see, I still salute you. And you guys know how it goes in this show. When you tune into Sunday Syrian program, you know how it goes. It's not about me, it's about the guests that we bring in. But we want to also say shout out to all our supporters that have been supporting us for this program to be possible. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Anne Micheli, to Patrice Vile, to World Black Mental Health Organization. Thank you so much for supporting us, and this program would have never been possible without you guys. So without further ado, so I'm about to bring the one and only Mr. Sherod Duncan to the screen, so he can talk to you guys, because this show is not about Sunday, it's about the guests that we bring in, and then ask them beautiful questions that they can answer, right? So yeah. Right, here we come. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Hi, Sunday. A very good afternoon to you, and I am very, very happy to be here with you on the Sunday Saran show. I'm privileged,
Yeah,
sir. I
man.
am present and ready to go.
Yeah, man. Fight it. Do
And
we still say fight
I'll
it?
only say that these shows that we have are always about the people. It's
Yeah.
about their interest and trying to get the information to them by
Correct.
whatever
Correct.
means
Correct.
necessary.
That's right. That's right. I'm so
Great to
I'm
be
so
with you,
honored.
Sunday.
I'm so honored. I'm so honored. I'm so grateful, and I want to thank you for making this possible. Thank you so much, brother.
I'm very happy to be on your show, Sunday.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Now, the very first questions is that everybody know you. I don't think you have to introduce yourself, because everybody already know who you are, and you have a beautiful program that you do every single day. And oh my God, I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan of you. You have like 5,000 people watching. That's
But
crazy.
I was going to introduce myself as a humble husband and father, as a parliamentarian,
But
and
you
then
know you
finally
went.
as as a host of a similar show, Sandy, trying to emulate what you do here, and trying to do my own thing too.
No, but you wear so much cap, right? You are a member of parliament, and you are as husband, as you say, you are father, and you are host of a beautiful show in Guyana, In the Ring. Tell us about that.
Well, thanks for being so kind, Sandy. In the Ring is a program where we think that we get people from a wide cross section of our country and in the diaspora who have an interest in what's happening here locally, and we try to get them as much information as possible. And that, to me, is really and truly the what is central to the program: getting good information to the people, and then they respond in the way they do.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, honorable member of parliament, how is parliament right now? Tell us.
Well, we're in recess until the 10th of October. But, being a member of parliament, you're not really ever in a recess. We're still doing a lot of groundwork, meeting with the people, hearing their needs, hearing their concerns. And lots of that really and truly is what gets filtered into the ring. And we're able to respond to their needs in that manner, rather, getting the information to them that they so desperately need.
That's right. Now, I'm going straight to the point. I spoke to a lot of young
Tony,
people.
I should have said congratulations to you too as a husband, because I saw a lovely video on YouTube there, and I'm so happy for you guys and your lovely wife. So
No,
congratulations.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Coming from you, that means a lot. Thank you so much, brother. Yeah. Straight to the point. Young people in Guyana, I'm going straight there. Young people in Guyana are, some of them, or the majority of them, are very discouraged when it comes to politics. Because in Guyana, you have a political arena that being governed by two party from day one, right? And then young people are very much tired of the same practice over and over and over. And now we started to see that young people started to involve in politics right now. What do you think that could bring to the to Guyana?
Look, we have a few,
Yeah.
not many, a few good people in the PPP. We got some good people in APNU, in PNC. I got some great colleagues that I work with in the PNC, and I come from a small party, the Alliance for Change. And so I think that it is our task to make politics not necessarily appealing. Some people say sexy politics, but make it something that young people want to be interested in, and that's what attracted me to politics in the first place. It's not necessarily all of the glitz and the glamour and quote unquote the popularity, because we understand in this country, politics is serious business. But just being able to help people, being able to help in the development of your community, in the development of policies, of services that impact people. And if you want to do that, then politics should interest you, and basically how the country is managed, how the country is governed. And if you're into good governance and good management, then what happens in the political arena really and truly should interest you. But it's our task as politicians across the divide to continue to reach out to people. And young people have been responding. They have been responding.
That's right. That's right. That's amazing. Now, going straight to the point, President FN Ali was at the UN stage just the other day, and that was amazing. It talked about something that I really passionate about, which is reparation. As a member of parliament of the opposition,
I didn't hear reparations in the way you said it. I heard a lot of other things, Sonny. But reparations in that very smooth, elegant, eloquent way you said it, I didn't hear that. So I'm not certain we're talking about the same thing.
But we all know. But we all know you mean reparation, right? So it's not my right to say the president didn't say
No,
properly,
you have to say what you mean and mean what you say. I'm just being facetious.
I know, and I'm coming to that. But let's go back to the question. The president talking about reparation, and also he talking about being able to bring what we call justice to the Atlantic trade. And that sound amazing to me as a black man. How do that reach to you to that level? And also, before you answer, the president talked also about working assiduously to see how he can eradicate racism in Guyana. How do you see that?
Look,
Does that make you happy?
reparations is an issue that we got to keep pursuing.
Yeah.
But when some people talk about reparations, look, we want here, right? Your actions got to match your words. And developing the black community,
Yeah.
developing the Afro-Guyanese community, it's not something that the PPP can really point to and show a lot of success at all. As a matter of fact, this is the same fella in his arrival day message said that the Africans came here for development. That Africans came here for development. So I am not too certain he understands the whole concept of reparations, and perhaps that is why he had such a tough time pronouncing the word, because it's a word and a concept that is foreign to him. So reparations, yes, I am all for that, and empowering people that have been dispossessed. This is one of the things that Walter Rodney wrote about, how Europe underdeveloped Africa, you can look to historians like Eric Williams, Dr. Eric Williams, right in Trinidad. Fascinating work on slavery. Dr. Walter Rodney, our very own, had his PhD at 24. A tremendous inspiration for young people. Wrote extensively on this, and we understand that, and we support reparations for our brothers and sisters. But when some people come and talking about reparations, and for instance, even using Walter Rodney, for political mileage and conveniently, we're listening.
Are you trying to say that, do you mean that the president just because he was at the world stage, and then he trying to say something to make his party look good?
Definitely so. When the president is talking about that, he has to also talk about the hundreds of Afro-Guyanese in the majority who were dismissed from the public service when they came in. You have to look to see, for instance, in a Afro-Guyanese dominated community like Linden, the kind of damage this administration has done since they came in August 2nd, 2020. People losing their jobs, companies closing down, contracts being taken back from companies that are headed by Afro-Guyanese, and the list goes on. And Linden is just a microcosm of what has been happening nationally. Look and see, you go there, you talk about rule of law and justice and all of that to the UN, that is, and you as an Afro-Guyanese and Afro-Guyanese colleagues, you try to do a little protest or something like that. You can see water cannon, you can see riot squad, you can see the SWAT team. But in other villages, people can come, block road and all of that, and the response is different. And that is what really and truly is the heart of the PPP, is different strokes for different folks.
Wow. Okay. Right now, the government is busy trying to fight that, to show the international that they are not racist, right? And I'm Haitian, and we see it different because they respond to us, purporting that they are racist. That's to me. But as a member of parliament, member of the opposition, do you think they will be successful showing that? No, and the Haitian experience in Guyana, I think, is the most glaring example. You got Venezuelans who come here, you got Brazilians who come here. You go to some of the private hospitals, you got a lot of Indian nationals who come here. You got lots of other people and ethnicities who come here for betterment, come here for whatever reason, are passing through here, and none of them were treated the way the Haitians were treated. And it took the Chief Justice to let the administration know that what they were doing was unconstitutional as regards the Haitians. So you don't have to go very far. They talk one thing, as we've been saying, but their actions on these issues, very, very poor. Sandy, right. Very, very poor. I could see. Well, but do you think? Okay, let me bring back to another scenario. In Guyana, we all fighting for betterment, and then you have a country that is segregated, right? As a foreigner, I came here and I see it. It's segregated. Black people aside, Indiana side and everything. Now we're going straight to election. When it's come to election, Guyana also they election like to elect a president in Guyana. It's based on race, right? So if you're black, you're going to support the PNC and AFC. If you're Indian, you're going to support Indian would support PPP. Now, which put us foreigners, when we come to Guyana, in a very, 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 very hard way. Because let me bring it down for you. A country where people are very much motivated about race and color to be elected a president, and it's not about political portfolio. It's not about your promise. It's not about your plan. So you don't need to have a plan. You don't. As long as you're Indian, you will get Indian support. As long as you're black, you get black support. And now, we as foreigner from Africa, from Haiti, and from Nigeria, from South Africa, we black. We came here, and we are being targeted as people who will be able to vote for the AFC, even though that's not in our mind. Right, so we've been targeted because they say, "Hey, they black. They will support the black government." Do you think we will reach to a stage where this problem being solved in Guyana, that people no longer have to vote based on race, but on your political portfolio?
I think we will reach that place. I think one day we are going to reach that place, and that is why, Sunday, we got to keep reaching out to our young people, because we have so many young people who are growing up with all that kind of burden to say, oh, my grandmother was PPP or my grandfather was PNC or even AFC. And so I have to go a certain way. And the work that we're continuing to do is to say to people, let's focus on the issues. Let us focus on the issues. And if we can focus on the issues, we are going to have a better society 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. And if we focus on the issues, we know the PPP is not going to be re-elected. And I put re-elected in uplifted commas because their election has an asterisk next to it right now. And that is a matter of a matter that the court is dealing with, is looking at. Okay. But for instance, look and see that over the last year, the ministry that they have responsibility for, a department in the Ministry of Finance, says that food prices over the last year has gone up 14%, and in some other instances by 5.4%. Look at their management of the security sector. Crime every day, people being robbed in broad daylight, bandits attacking you all over the city. Nobody is safe. Look at what's happening in the health sector with COVID-19, their management of the health sector, shortages of drugs. Look at the treatment of the public servants. You have one treatment for the sugar industry and Gaisuko, and we have no trouble with our cane farmers or cane cutters. We say whatever is due to them, they deserve that. But the public service, by the same measure, Condi, since the budget was passed in February of 2021, they said there's a raise in salary and wages for public servants. This is, we're going into October in another day or two, and there's been no announcement as to what level of raise or even given the raise. In the meantime, Gaisuko, that favors their base, have gotten raised. They got strike, they get money in the budget, all manner of things. So it is not only ethnic racism and discrimination, but there's also economic discrimination. When you look and see who gets the big contract, it's friends and family of the PPP. When you see the persons who commit the most heinous crimes, you're knocking down people on the streets and killing them, and you don't even get charged. It's PPP friends and family. It's a cabal. And I am absolutely certain they don't see a second term. If we look at issues, they don't see a second term.
I really want to talk to you about that. I really want to ask you that question because I'm following everybody. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not a PPP member. I'm just a journalist doing my work, but I follow everybody. I am following a lot of ministers from the PPP, and I'm seeing them saying over and over, they're in power for decades now. And you now say that they will not be there for long.
Well, they saw the same thing in 2015. They thought they would have been in power for decades, and we know how that worked out for them. So let them keep selling people dreams. Let them keep selling people dreams.
I'm gonna ask you that question, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Young people in Guyana, um, I talked to one of your colleagues. I think his name is Mr. Obrinaton. I talked to
Yes.
him, and then I interview him here at my show, and he talked about the voting list that we have to work on it, work on the voting list. I agree that. I talked one or to somebody this morning about the same thing. I said, how can we fight that? How can we have a better way, a better approach when it comes to election? And she talked about the constituency. And do you in favor of the constituency or the voting list? Which one you think could
I
bring
am
back
in
the
favor
coalition in power?
of a sanitized voters list. I'm in favor of a sanitized voters list. Look, when you look and see how many persons, for instance, voted in the last election, and the number of persons they say of the that are of the adult population in this country, right, it's too total disparity in terms of, let's say they're saying 300,000 persons is the
Yeah.
adult population in this country that needs the vaccine, right? On the list, they're saying, oh, it's 450,000. So that list needs sanitizing. That list, Sandy, it needs some blue soap, it needs some vim, it needs some bleach, right? And then it needs some Febreze and some whatever is the softener. It really needs sanitizing,
It
right? You
really.
gotta scrub it good, right? And even on
I laugh a lot.
on that note, we had a protracted election period. They have
Uh huh.
dismissed several persons at GCOM. GCOM's
Yeah.
work is backing up. They're saying on nobody to sign check. Contractors for buildings that they've rented to house GCOM offices and so on, saying they want the money, nobody to sign these checks and all of that. Now, there's a proposition that an independent body look to the hiring of these key persons, right? Because you all said those persons there, were part of rigging and all of that. But you all don't want independent persons to be part of the hiring process for these persons. A couple you want to go in a back room and make some backroom deal. They don't like transparency, Sandy. And this is not only what we're seeing at GCOM. Look and see what's happening in the oil and gas sector. The stakeholders, not APNU AFC persons, international bodies, saying they can't get information out to the administration. And yet, today, or was it yesterday, they are celebrating World Information Day, free information and access to information. And stakeholders in oil and gas, Sandy, saying they cannot get data out of
Information.
this administration. They don't like transparency. They don't like light. They're like vampires. They frighten light. They frighten sunlight.
Wow. Wow. Now,
They're frightened.
that brings me back to one question that I really needed to ask you because I've been hearing that a lot. People, I believe that the opposition is weak, is very weak. How you agree with that?
I thought you heard that they are vampires, but no, I don't agree that the opposition is weak. As a matter of fact,
Okay.
look at the opposition just a couple of days ago with the Ali nonsense at the UN. It is because of the work of the opposition. We saw that hurriedly put together press conference to try to
Yeah.
do damage control. And now the press conference was so horrible. You got together press conference to do damage control to the press conference that was geared to do damage control. And then they hurriedly put out one of the worst publication after that press conference, trying to highlight Irfan Ali, the installed president. And this is not what you're saying. I'm saying this as a parliamentarian. The installed president on the world scene, trying to portray him as some leader of stature. But we all know Irfan. We in the opposition know Irfan is a puppet. And he's installed, and no amount of painting Irfan with any kind of airbrush or trying to Photoshop Irfan on the world stage going to give him the stature of a mere Motley. Right? There's nobody who celebrated Irfan Ali's speech besides Irfan Ali himself. But listen to a leader on the UN stage, the 76th General Assembly in mere Motley,
Yeah,
for
I heard
instance,
that.
articulating the issues with such clarity, such breadth and depth. And then
Yeah.
you got Irfan Ali.
So you think that was
Embarrassingly.
you think that was an embarrassment for the country?
Definitely. Without question, Candy. It was an embarrassment to this country.
Wow. So,
An embarrassment.
Honorable, you talk about that the opposition is going back to power. can you tell us some of the strategies that you guys gonna use to be back in power in 2025?
You see, Sonny, I would love to do that, but them jagabats, I know. Them jagabats are taping you, right? They want to know what is in our playbook. They're fast ball, and we can give them that. But what we will continue to do, we will continue to highlight to the people of this country what they're doing, what we did in the past, and what we're going to do in the future. Sonny, could you imagine? You live in a country where for 5 years, the police and fire a tear gas, the police and fire a rubber bullet, the police and had no use for water cannon. Right? That happened over the last 5 years of the APNU AFC administration. Take the PPP, for instance. Mostly single mothers in that place called Success, the squatting area on the East Coast, wanting a piece of the Guyanese dream, a piece of the oil-producing republic, wanting a piece of that dream, that hope. Go there for a piece of land. What do they get? Do they get a piece of land? No, they get rubber bullets. They get tear gas in the skin. And they get a heavy hand of the PPC. That is the people. That is the people. Take Esikebo, Mr. Boston. A whole SWAT team goes there to arrest one man, 12 men. 12 men. They go to arrest him, he ends up dead. Barges into his house. To this date, we don't know if they had a warrant. What were they looking for? They found nothing illegal. The man ends up dead. He ends up dead. And to this day, the police force and the government can't tell us who sent the SWAT team. 12 men. The government rogue, the police force rogue. Every man does what is right in his or her own eyes. That is the PPP. And we know that we have a different country than the one they left in 2015. They are pushed back on every front, especially from their own people who done fed up with them. Done fed up with them. And so we know that there's going to be a change in government shortly.
All right. I think one of the things that I want to ask you, I think that might be very personal, but I'm still going to ask you. Honorable, I came here and I start reading your story, not your personal story, but the country story and so forth. The president is talking about reparation. Do you think reparations should start within the country first? Because when we're talking about the massacre in Batika, we're talking about all those people that have been killed and we have no response. We're talking about the Henry boys. Do you think reparations should start within the country first or something?
Well, Sunday charity does begin at home. And again, the PPP's action not matching their words. Right? The narrative they want to paint not matching their actions. We don't even have to go to reparations. Again, look at what's happening in the public sector. Monies were passed by the National Assembly for an increase in wages and salaries of public servants. They are yet to receive it. But yet, we know that the public service in its entirety don't necessarily support the PPP government. But they know they draw a large block of their supporters from Gaisuko. And so they continue to pour money into Gaisuko. As soon as the sugar workers strike, they get whatever they ask for. The Minister of Agriculture came yesterday to this nation and says he wants another 1.6 billion to help Gaisuko on for the next 4 months. I don't see the Minister of the Public Service coming and say, where is the money promised to public servants? Why haven't we got the increase in salaries for the public servants yet? Right? So we have to do right by our public servants. Yes, we believe in reparations, and the reparations are important for people who have been dispossessed and beaten down and downtrodden and taken advantage of, and where there was injustice in the past, there should be reparations. But Condi, let's be honest. If you can't pay me what I deserve now, what the National Assembly has approved, you can give me reparations? You can give me reparations? I find it hard to believe. I find it hard to believe. They wheeled out Walter Rodney, right, to say that the PNC sometime in the past ordered the killing of Walter Rodney. Their minister, Saturday Osa, was killed. They never asked for an inquest. They never brought anything to the National Assembly asking that his family receive reparations for his brutal killing, and he was a sitting minister in their administration. And I must hold out hope that they got my interest at heart. You can't even look after the interest of a minister that sat at your pleasure as Minister of Agriculture. And I must think that you have my best interest at heart.
Terrible.
Sandy.
So, Honorable, let me ask you this. Money is pouring, and Gaisuko. Do you believe that is racism? Or because Gaisuko is the biggest industry for the country? What is it?
No. The public sector, the public service has more workers than Gaisuko. Has more
So
workers
why
by
more
far
money?
than Gaisuko. It is
But
their
why
base.
more money is pouring there?
It is their base. It is their base, and they rather satisfy their base under the APNU AFC administration. Look at Region 9. Didn't vote for us, voted for the PPP. But
Yeah.
Region 9 can boast of developed roads. Even after 23 years of the PPP, we put in tremendous infrastructure there under the David Granger-led administration and under the Minister David Patterson. Tremendous infrastructural work in places like Mabaruma. Tremendous infrastructural work. Right? And other places. Maruka, across this country, quarantine. There are places in quarantine, their stronghold, that didn't have lights in 20 years, Sandy, that got light under the APNU AFC government.
Yeah.
Water! Right?
I saw it.
Under, through Dr. Van West Charles, being CEO there at the GWI. Water!
Yeah.
Tremendous
I saw it.
development in that sector there. What's happening at GWI now? Directors resigning. 1 year into the PPP administration, we see even in tourism, the director of tourism resigned yesterday. People fed up of them. People, they want to take us back to the crude crassness of 2015. But the country has changed. Right? The complexion of the country has changed. I'm not only talking about race. The social complexion of the country has changed. But these guys haven't changed. It's the same old set of corrupt people. Sunday. And I know that, and I want to say publicly that I know that you aren't political, and these views are my own. They are corrupt.
Wow. I'm so overwhelmed right now. You turn out a lot of information to me that I didn't know. To me, as the way I saw Gaisuko was like maybe the biggest industry where they have so much workers. That's why billions of dollars go in there all the time. So I didn't know it was not. So Honorable, tell me
billions
something.
of dollars being thrown there. Even if that is the case, Sonny, let's take that as let's take that as an assumption, as a hypothesis. All the sugar estates haven't opened yet, and they're on the verge of closing down Skeldon.
Yeah.
They haven't reopened Wales. Wales, all of a sudden they said they will reopen the sugar factories. Wales suddenly going as a gas to show plant. You don't need 300, 400, 500 workers for a gas to show plant. So we know Wales are opening back. Right? We know that Albion and Skeldon right now I don't think they got 2,000 workers. The public sector got more than 20,000 workers. I think almost 25,000 workers. But they can't get a raise in salary. That was approved by the National Assembly since February. Right? Wow. But Albion strike last month, they met with them, they're getting what they want. They want gratuity. They said the top brackets getting gratuity. They want gratuity too, and they can get it. They were promised that. Now, Skeldon see what happening in Albion, suddenly they strike as well. No, sorry, I don't want to mix up the issues. Albion said that because of COVID, their days of work were reduced, but they cannot take a reduce in pay because of the cost of living that has gone up. Remember, about the 14% in goods and services that has gone up, 14% increase in the cost of goods and services. Well, the workers said that even though they're working less days, they cannot take a cut in pay because of the cost of living. So they met with them, giving them what they want, and then Skeldon is seeing that, and Skeldon said, no, we want gratuity. Right? And when the administration came in, they give 600 million to Gaisuko. They give them billions through the budget. Yeah. Right? Yeah. They strike. I think somewhere around April, Jagdio jumped in, gave them $200 million. They've gotten a lot of money. Public service and the public servants since the PPP has come in, 2 budgets later, zero.
Zero. Wow.
So it's
Now,
the economic injustice, the economic
yeah, it is.
inequality, the economic inequity. That is the challenge. Because I think we got some decent people as sugar workers, as cane workers and cane cutters, and decent people. And I said when we first started on this topic, I want them and we want them to get whatever they deserve rightfully as workers in this country. But we want the public servants to get their just dues as well.
That's right. So, Honorable, I want to ask you this question because this question means a lot to me. Right now, we're going straight to Kokwani. Still, people are homeless in Kokwani, sir. And there were a budget for $3 billion something for the flood relief.
Yeah.
Why do we still have people homeless over there?
Because in Kokwani, you don't have a lot of their supporters. So Kokwani can get a 10,000 flood relief. You can get a 5,000. But in region 6, you can get 25 million, 15 million, 10 million. Right? Because that is your support base that you play in politics.
Hold on, sir.
That's the reality.
No, this now don't make sense to me, because in power means that in a democracy. Let's go. Ghana is a democratic country, right?
You're making an assumption there. You're making an assumption. If the PPP don't even have a democratic party, right? Jesus. Up to recently, they don't vote by any democratic means, casting ballots and secret. No. They don't understand those things. A communist party, right?
Being in power means that you're there to serve the people,
right? If you had a democratic party, you'd never get Irfan Ali as president. Irfan Ali went to a Congress where they were voting leaders, and Irfan Ali didn't even make the top 5. How Irfan Ali is president? If you are in your own party and you can't make the top 5, you can't get yourself elected even in the top 2. How you president in a democracy?
Wow. So now let's go back to Kokwani, because I don't understand what's happening right here. Being in power means that you're there to... Okay, let's suppose Guyana is democratic. You know, we have democracy, right? And democracy is that I cannot be in the parliament building. All of us, the public, the citizen, cannot be in the parliament building. We send you to represent us. All of us cannot be president. We send you to represent us. Democracy means the power of the people and for the people. So if I am supposed to be homeless when a budget is passed in the National Assembly and I'm still being homeless just because I did not vote for a political party, that don't sound right to us as foreigners.
Connie, you come from a different place, and y'all have fought for democracy longer than we have.
Yeah, we do.
Democracy for us means who you vote for on election day, or perceive to have voted for. And if you look, I think, if I remember correctly, Kokwani went to APNU AFC in the last election. So democracy here means who did you vote for when you look at the electoral map? Did Kokwani vote for us? Can determine how much resources go to Kokwani. I can tell you this without any fear of successful contradiction. Look to any major project being given out, right? And look to see where those persons would have voted in terms of region. Look to see where most of the shore base is going. It's not along the Demerara River on Georgetown side. It's the Demerara River on Region 3 side. Look to see where some of the major projects being done. Region 6, Region 9, and those places. So you look at the electoral map and you see, how can we satisfy our constituency? That is democracy in this country. APNU AFC operated differently, and that's why I pointed out lots of projects, whether it was infrastructure, healthcare, public security, and all that, that went across the board. They went to Lethem recently and drove on fantastic roads that were built by APNU AFC. We didn't concern whether you vote for us or not. That is what development and democracy meant for us. All of the people, you know, must be developed together. The rising tide, Sandy, must float all boats. But for PPP, it's some boats. Well, they can't even find boats. So,
But no, honorable. What gonna happen? Don't you think that those people who are homeless in Kokwani right now, they might make a turnaround, saying, you know what, the Apno FC, because I didn't vote for them. Look what happened to us. The government don't care about us. So let's go and support them now, so we can get something. Because that's trending. That's what trending. Don't you guys afraid to lose those voters?
I think that they rather go with what they are certain of. I think the government, they're going to make certain interventions, Sandy, but they're going to go with what they are certain of. And to think that those persons in mass are going to vote for the PPP in that area there is a wild card. And it's a wild card they can't afford with the kind of blunders. So while they might put some resources into Kokwani, it's going to never outpace what is happening in Region 3, Region 6, Region 9, and other places. It will never outpace that. They will never give that kind of development to Region 7 and places like Bartica in particular. Right? You're going to hope, perhaps, if you have a long term in office, right? You're going to hope you can flip those places. If you got 20 years, you hope at the end of 20 years, you can look back and show, look, we have done these number of things, but not in the short term. Not in the short term.
Wow.
So the development and all the big money is going to continue to go to the constituency. Look at it. They have shown us the map. Look and see when money is given out. Look and see where it goes first, Sunday. Where it goes first. It either goes to Region 6 or Region 3. Any project, whether it was farmers' flood relief, whether it was COVID-19 cash grant give out, it goes to their constituents first. And large populations like Region 4, Georgetown, that is heavily supportive of APNU AFC, gets last.
Wow.
That's the challenge
that's
that we
terrible.
have.
That's terrible. Now, let's go back to COVID-19. COVID-19 is killing people tremendously in Guyana right now. We're losing a
It's
lot
killing
of
the wrong set of
important...
people. It's killing the wrong set of people.
That's the thing. That's where I want to come from. We're losing, actually, we just lose 2 journalists now, and it hurts me a lot. Right? Now, Honorable, I do believe we have more dead, but maybe we're not talking about them. But those journalists are very famous that cannot hide. So what can we do? Should we wait, sit down, and keep saying rest in peace all the time? Because right now, rest in peace is trending in Guyana because of COVID. What can we do at that level?
I want the PPP rest in peace. That is my ultimate aim, that they will rest in peace. As a party for all eternity, they will rest in peace. I've said this thing here affecting the wrong set of people. Conde, you asked earlier on.
You're responsible for that, right? You're responsible for that statement.
Yes. Right?
I am
the
not.
PPP as a party. The PPP as a party. I tell you, PPP got some good people. Got some good people. So I won't say the person, because as a political party, it should rest in peace.
Okay.
But I want to say this, Sandy. We talked about whether what was happening in the sugar industry was racism. And I'm saying it is, I would say it is economic and perhaps social discrimination and all those things.
That's right.
Today, at the interment of one of those media personalities, Imran Khan, our very own, there was a picture there, Sandy, that we don't see often in our country. We don't see often enough in our country. So here is Imran Khan. His mother is Indian. His family, they're Indian. And Tamara Khan, his mother-in-law, they're black. Right? They are black people. But they are joined by the fact that their children got this profound love for each other. A black woman and an Indian man. Right? And unfortunately, Tamara could not be there. When Tamara's mother came in, the 2 mothers hugged and wept.
Wow.
Sandy, wept.
Wow.
An Indian woman holding on to a black woman and weeping. Wow. Right? This country ain't got race and ethnicity problems, really and truly, you know. Because ordinarily, had you seen them separately, you might say, and you stereotype people. They hugged each other and wept.
Wow.
Right? You know why? Because of a common struggle that they have.
That's right.
And we as Guyanese in this country, we got the same issue. Right? Guyanese people live together all the time as one. It's some wicked stink and dirty politicians that we got on the other side. That's why I'm telling you, as a party, not as people, because you've got some good people, albeit in there, not many, a couple. I could count them probably on one hand, but a couple nonetheless. As a party, as an institution, rest in peace.
Wow. But Honorable, I want to ask you this question, and it's very, very personal. We dealing with COVID right now, and this is a serious thing. And people are dying. They don't know what exactly gonna happen. And everyone is worrying right now. And at the level of Ministry of Health, what do you think can be done? I know you're not a doctor, but as you are politicians, you understand how leadership should be run, how things should be run. I am afraid. I am worried a lot, and my friends and everyone in the country are worrying right now because we're saying too much in peace every week, rest in peace every week. So at the level of Ministry of Health, what do you think can be done? Should we still sit down here and fighting people to take the vaccine, or how do we go about it? Leadership.
I think that leadership is very important, and that's why the Minister of Health, Frank Anthony, should go. He has done nothing that suggests to us that he has any competence in this area. Nothing at all. From day one, he had no handle on COVID. And when we handed over the administration to them, there were 21 deaths over a 6-month period. And there were 474 confirmed cases. Right? 474. They boast now that they're doing thousands of tests. Then what's responsible for the deaths? Right? In a comparative period, their deaths far outstripped 21. Regretfully. And the people who are confirmed cases far outpaced 474.
Yeah.
So they had no plan. They have no plan. To this day, Sandy, Dr. Etienne, Carissa Etienne, the PAO director, said to us that we had the variant here. We had the Delta variant. Frank Anthony said he wasn't briefed on that. He didn't know that. It took Trinidad to tell us somebody who was that disembarked in Trinidad, came from our country, tested positive for the variant. To this day, this administration hasn't told us definitively or conclusively, yes, we have the variant, or we will operate as though we have it. We think we might have it. It looks like that. It looks like that might be the reason for this surge, but nothing definitive. Frank should go.
There's a lack of communication right there as well.
There's a lack of competence, not communication. Well, that too, but a tremendous lack of competence. And Frank should move out the way in the public interest.
And Honorable, the people of Guyana cannot do that, but they vote you guys to do so. Do you guys have any plan now to fight this?
We will continue.
Maybe a low confidence motion or something.
We will continue. As a matter of fact, we did table a no confidence motion, but they waited out until we went into the recess. It remains to be seen when we come out of the recess at early October whether that motion gets tabled. But the unions took the mandatory vaccination issue to court. That has a lot of implication. The judge didn't grant the injunction to stop the vaccination process based on the fact it was a public interest issue. But that case comes up for hearing shortly. And that has a lot of implications. So we're going to wait to see where that goes. So that's happening in the courts. And then we are doing our bit at the National Assembly too with a no confidence motion.
Great. I want to ask you this. Do you have some more minutes? Do you have a few minutes? Because there's an important question I want to ask you. You have a few
I have a couple more minutes on it.
All right, great. The Vice President of Guyana, Mr. Barat Jagdio, I cannot finish this interview not to ask this question. I really like this question that I'm about to ask.
He should go with Frank. He's part of the problem. Go ahead, Sandy. Sorry.
You're always making me laugh at your show and everything. Cause
he's part of the problem.
I get, but my question is very serious. I remember I was in Guyana and when campaigning was start for both parties, APNO FC and then PPPC Civic. And one of the things that Mr. Bagja do always say is that When we get in power, we will renegotiate ExxonMobil contract. And for those viewers listening out from all over the Caribbean and United States and Canada who don't know about Guyana, I want to tell you this contract, ExxonMobil contract, this oil production country, this one of the things, this is where the wealth of the country lies. That's very important for Guyana. Now, another member of parliament, I want to ask you this. The prime minister was saying all the time that whenever we get elected, we will fight this, we will renegotiate because APNO FC did not do a good job. But surprisingly, I have been here for quite a long time now. I have never heard Mr. President talk back about renegotiation. Where we at with this? Where we at now? Tell me something, because I'm confused.
Suddenly they were like Donald Trump. They said that they can do good deals, they can do big deals, they're going to win bigly, they're going to, they were deal makers and all that. And as you rightfully said, now they're in is a different story. Maybe the deal looked too sweet. They said we couldn't negotiate and all that, and they were going to do better. As you said, nothing has changed. They have refused to renegotiate those deals. As a matter of fact, they say the new oil discoveries, they're going to make sure that they're good and so on. The contracts and so forth. They will start from there. It's the same people. They say one thing and do something else. It's the same people. Jack Dio said he wasn't interested in politics. He said he wanted to be a farmer, maybe to get some of the 25 million, them big portions and so on. He wanted to write a book and he wanted to marry and get some grandchildren and that kind of stuff. Coming soon. Well, we're still waiting for that. Right? He said he wasn't interested in elected office, yet he got general secretary in the party and all kinds of things. Right? And then he was suddenly interested in coming back and working with his government in a very integral way. And he wasn't interested in one time, and then suddenly he interested. Lies. That's the way they are. Lies so upon more lies upon more lies. You can't trust them. So they say out of office, we're going to renegotiate these contracts on day one. And then day one come and the tune change. We are going to make sure that our public servants are empowered. And then when they have the opportunity, the money is approved by the National Assembly, it becomes something else. We are going to ensure that we have a crime plan, and then they get power, and then there's no crime plan, and people like Mr. Boston are being shot and killed in the street. We are going to ensure that this government, that this country has equal development, and then you see only certain regions and certain people and certain companies getting all of the money. It's the same old PPP. The nation has changed, right? The conscience of the nation has changed. It's a more empowered country because of the last administration, giving or rather allowing people to express freedom of thought and of ideas. Look how much people, since this administration has come in, I'm going to talk a little bit about this in my program this evening, they have taken to court for slander and libel. Name me one person the Granger administration in their 5-year term took to court for talking bad about them on social media. Soon you say something about this government, they're ready to carry you to court, right? To say, some law, you break something. They don't like criticism. These same people who spent 5 years criticizing the last administration every day, 24 hours per day, suddenly don't like criticism. They don't like protests. They who protested this government at every turn, try to upturn a minister vehicle by Pegasus. They don't like protests. Soon they say, protest, not granted. Water cannon, tear gas, pellet. These people, they say one thing out of power and in power. Look at what they're doing. Right? These same people, Sandy, they fret. They fret about the 50% raise for ministers. You remember that?
Yeah.
Up to AFC wanted to make sure the ministers were comfortable. There was not going to be any corruption, any thieving, and so on. Give them a little increase. Give them an increase. Right? The PVP make a whole halibabu about that. A whole halibaloo about that, Sandy. Then a year now have they reversed? That's 50%. The people wicked, Sandy. The wicked, the stink, and the dirty.
So what the people of Guyana should be waiting on now?
Well, the people of Guyana will wait for the next election and vote them out. And it can't come quick enough. I want to pull a Justin Trudeau on us and call a snap election. You understand me? That's what I want them to do. Try to get a mandate from the people. Yes. So the last the 2020 general election, it was marred. The answer was marred. It was regional. Call fresh elections and get a fresh mandate from the people, the man. Yeah. Call fresh elections and get a fresh mandate.
Oh my God!
And let me see what
is real. The struggle is real in Guyana, you know.
Real.
Things are raising up, and people, even my wife fed up, to be honest.
Things tight.
Because back
Their
then,
own
5,000
people.
used to do a lot.
Their own people fed up, Sandy. Their own people, much less other people. Their own people fed up with them. Right?
And where's the hope coming now?
And I
Should we
saw
have
some.
hope, or
I
should we
talked
give
to a
up?
businessman yesterday. Sandy, who said he talks to businessmen regularly. And they were of the mind, because they are PPP people, that when
Yeah.
the PPP comes back, business was going to be booming, economic dynamism and resilience. And they're crying out now. But people can't give up. People can't give up because this oil well does not belong to the PPP. Right? Local content don't belong to PPP friends and family. It belongs to all of us. And a
But
day will come when it will be given to all of us. Right
But
now,
there's
this
a-
is being given to all of us.
But there's
It's
a
been
measure
given to some.
says, right now. I'm not sure is that a very credential. How should I say that? Is it legally or is it legitimate talk? I am not sure, but it has been said, and I have been hearing it a lot of times, that the major contract from ExxonMobil are not given to black businessmen. Why? Is it we don't have
that
black
might be a good
businessmen
question
here?
for ExxonMobil. That might be a good question for them as to why the majority of contracts, or rather, why the contracts are ethnically disproportionate. That may be a good question for that. But people see and come to their own conclusions about those matters, and it should be an issue for ExxonMobil to tell us why is that. But Sandy, it was great being here. I saw you got to run.
Yeah. I know, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful
let's do
for
it
your
again.
time, brother. We will do it again. We definitely will do it again. Thank you so much, man.
No trouble at all, Sandy.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate
It
it.
was my pleasure and privilege, and I'm very thankful that you allowed me to talk to your audience.
I will try to get you again. I love
Fantastic.
it. We need to
Thanks
talk.
very much.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot. All right, people. That was the one and only Honorable Sherod Duncan. He make me laugh a lot. Looking at his show, the way he talk about politics, make me laugh a lot. And I want to thank you all so much for tuning into this program. 583 persons watching from all over the Caribbean, from all over Guyana, and then I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much. And remember, if you are troubled with health problem, mental health issues, please go to World Black Mental Health Organization. It is very, very efficient. It is very good. Please go there and then go on their website and then ask for free counseling. You will have 24 hours free counseling. And if you in Guyana, you're looking to have some very good Haitian food, you need some Haitian food, you know who to call is Bongo Food Delivery Guyana. Just call them 502-3567. Just call them and then they will bring the food right at your doorstep. You don't have to step outside. They will bring it to you right at your doorstep. If you like those kind of program, do us a favor. Please follow the page right now. And give us a thumbs up. Then stay connected with us. We really need you to be connected. We really need you to be with us, because every single day I'm going to try to have somebody, very important person with interesting topic to talk about. Sunday afternoon, we're going to have the one and only Simona Brooms. I think everybody like her a lot. Simona Brooms will be in the house Sunday afternoon. She will be talking to us. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about her with her first already. I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking to her already. But I'm gonna have her down here and we're gonna talk politics. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you all so much, and please go and follow the page. And remember, this program is brought to you by the one and only Mr. Patrice Vile, who helping us a lot, and then Miss Ann Mitchell, who never leave us. And then if you have business, you would love to partner with us, you would love us to do your to talk about your business, whatever you produce, whatever you do, come on, you could call us on 6625003, 6625003. We will be able to go down to your business, go with our cameras and film, and make sure we have a video of everything you're doing, everything you're producing, and then we will be talking to it in the show. So thank you so much for having me, guys. I really appreciate y'all so much. Please go follow the page. God bless y'all. Thank you so much. Have a blessed night, and I love all of you. I do. I swear I do. I love all of you. Bye bye. You guys take care and have a sweet night.